What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. Today, we continue our series on taking a deep dive into some of the best college prospects that we have entering the NFL draft. Today, we take a look at Miami defensive end Gregory Rousseau. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about the prospect, all that and much more coming your way right now. Nick, we have already talked about Micah Parsons. Now we have talked about Kwity Paye. And I believe that it's only fitting that we give Gregory Rousseau his date in court or his ability to shine here and take a look at what he can offer any NFL team that decides to choose him. As we do believe, will be in the first round and possibly the top 15.
Yeah, absolutely. And right off the gate, I'm going to say, to me, Gregory Rousseau is by far and away the best athlete in this draft class. I don't think that anybody else comes close. People want to say Kyle Pitts is the end-all be-all of this draft class. I don't think so. I think it's another guy in Florida, and I think it's Gregory Rousseau. He may have only shown 1 year of college tape, but I think that's all you need to know from this guy. At 6'6" and 265 pounds, he's an absolute dominant machine. He has played in 3-4 packages and 4-3 packages. He's played as D-tackle and defensive end. This guy, although he's a smaller guy, he has stupidly freakish strength. He's able to push two guys back at once without even blinking. He has crazy athleticism, and the ability for him to get to the quarterback is remarkable. I think if any coach takes this guy and trains him and teaches him to use more proper technique and get to the quarterback better, I think this guy could be absolutely amazing, one of the best of all time by the time his career comes to an end. And I think that there aren't too many holes in his game just because, from what we've seen, just because he has such little tape. I think that he's above average at getting to the quarterback and stopping the run, but I think that he can be elite at both if he's given a little bit more time.
No, I agree with you. I think the downside here is the fact that there is only 1 year of college tape on him. It's going to drive a couple people toward the beginning of the draft further away from him than they probably should be, just because, when I take a look at his tape, this guy is absolutely dominant. I mean, he's a freakish athlete. He stands out on the screen. It's easy to see who he is and how dominant he is. When I take a look at a player comparison for him, I had to actually come up with two guys because I think he's a blend of both of these. I take a look at Arik Armstead of the San Francisco 49ers, and I take a look at Myles Garrett with the Cleveland Browns. I think he's a blend of both of those. And the reason I say he's a blend is because Arik Armstead plays on the inside, Myles Garrett plays on the outside, and I think he can do both. So I believe he has the requisite strength to play inside on pass rushing schemes. I think he has the ability to play outside on run stopping and pass rushing schemes. I think overall he is a dominant defensive end and edge rusher that will be on your team for a very long time. He's going to help your team. We talk about the number one priority for every team is getting the quarterback situation handled. Number two is the pass rusher, the guy who sacks the quarterback. And Gregory Rousseau needs to be regarded as one of, if not the greatest pass rushers in this draft class that we have outside of possibly Kwity Paye.
Yeah, I like those comparisons. I'm going to go in a similar direction as you did with Zach Wilson, comparing him, saying he's Patrick Mahomes-esque. I'm going to actually say Gregory Rousseau is Aaron Donald-esque. I think that he has a lot of the similar traits, the natural strength and natural athleticism. If he can reach his full potential, he's going to be a multiple-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to have incredible sack numbers. He is going to be the guy in the NFL. I think this guy is so versatile on the defensive line and can be used in so many different styles and techniques and packages that you can always find ways of getting him involved and making him such a big proponent of a defense. You can't pass up a guy with who has the traits that Gregory Rousseau has. I think that if he even is in the conversation of a guy like Aaron Donald, you need to jump on that train. You need to buy in, because if you don't, you're going to be left in the dust and he's going to be winning championships with his other team.
I agree. And, I want to throw a couple names out there as well, just not just as pro comparisons, but guys he just reminds me of when I'm watching. I'm taking a look at some of the old school guys: Jason Taylor for the Miami Dolphins, Michael Strahan for the New York Giants. I mean, some of these old athletic defensive ends, John Abraham for the Falcons and the Jets. I mean, these guys were absolutely incredible. They are future Hall of Famers or current Hall of Famers. And overall, I truly and honestly believe that he is going to end up being that great. He's going to be regarded as one of the best pass rushers we have in the NFL for a very long time. And it's tough because with the 1 year of college tape, it's going to scare teams away, and they're going to look terrible when we revisit this in 10 or 15 years. But the reality is that there's just not enough information for these guys to say, listen, he's worth the number 2 overall pick for the Jets or the number 3 overall pick for the Dolphins. I mean, it's really tough. So I believe he's going to end up dropping to possibly the back end of the top 10, possibly into the mid teens.
Yeah, I think that it's more than possible, but I think there's a team right in the beginning, the New York Giants. I expect them to be the team that goes after Gregory Rousseau. As you mentioned, they had a guy a few years ago named Michael Strahan that they knew all too much about, and they want to get him alongside Leonard Williams and Dalvin Tomlinson. That would be one of the best defensive lines in the NFL if they could put that together. I think Joe Judge has all of the capabilities of turning Gregory Rousseau into his peak potential. So I think the Giants are the team to look out for. If I'm going to mention another team, I think that we could be looking at the Minnesota Vikings are another team that we need to be looking out for. Him opposite Daniil Hunter would be amazing. One of the best edge talents coupled with another, I think that they could do a lot of damage, and that's exactly what Mike Zimmer's looking for. He has some young cornerbacks that need to get some help from the defensive line, and what better than to have two of the best edge rushers in the NFL who are going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and make them throw some errant balls, make them throw the ball quickly, and that's going to play very well for the Minnesota Vikings. So I could expect him to go one of those two spots, but for sure he'll be gone in the top 15.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Taking a look at the Vikings, offensively, they're pretty much set. They have their quarterback, they have their receivers. Maybe replace Kyle Rudolph in the draft with a prospect in the second or third round. But if you can grab Greg Rousseau and add him to Daniil Hunter on that defense with Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr behind him, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal defense that they're going to be playing. Young corners that are willing to step up to the plate, and they're not going to have to cover for very long. So it'll be very interesting. And Mike Zimmer may actually just save his job in Minnesota. Well, that's going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.